So we was reiterating on the whole quantum physics God thing. It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
So, but when the dude's like, dude, it's 6 in the morning, bleh, right? So you go to the bathroom and we just start getting to the end of the world conversation.
Yeah, like the global warming and stuff. And I'm just talking about how, like, global warming people, it doesn't matter what the hell's going on, they blame it on global warming. Like, if it's too cold, it's because of global warming. And then they'll tell you, well, it's not necessarily warming. Doesn't mean it has to be warm. And if it's too warm, then it's like, see how warm? Global warming. You can't have it both ways. So Patrice was just kind of saying, no, it's the weather patterns are getting all screwy.
Yeah, it's just weird because I'm sitting up at 5. I can't sleep at night. You have weird depression, but it's it's vague. It's just you're sitting there like, what is wrong with me?
Right? You just sit there.
This kind of depression. So I'm just sitting up at 5 in the morning watching The Inconvenient Truth with
oh, boy.
Al Gore.
Al Gore.
You gotta watch that crap on a nice sunny day around 1 in the afternoon. That's not the type of show you watch in the middle of the night when no one's around. That's no way. You gotta know when to watch this stuff, Patrice.
I believe him because it's like this. I believe you because it was when I watched it. You know me, I'm an animal guy, so I'm not really caring about us cooking to death.
Just get into the frogs. Patrice. Get into the frogs.
So wait a minute though, I gotta get the whole thing.
Work up to speed.
The whole thing. So we talking about why the polar bears are getting extinct. They're drowning.
Right.
Okay. They're drowning because there's no ice left.
The ice floes are melting.
And the ice floes are melted, so they can't rest anywhere.
The little ice rafts.
The ice rafts.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Eskimos drown than polar bears.
Polar bears are cute.
Wait, you explained though, the polar bears, they have to swim miles out to get what they want.
To get fish.
And in between, they're resting on the little ice rafts, and those ice rafts, are melting. So
you're
now
seeing a bunch of floating, dead, drowned polar bears.
because now the polar bears, they're still swimming, assuming they're going to rest eventually, but there's nothing to rest on, and they're drowning. Okay.
So now we go into the frogs. The end of the world in Australia right now. 5 o'clock watching the end of the world. Now, in 1920...
Oh boy!
There's some beetles that were eating all the sugar cane in Australia. So they go, who eats these? So they get these things called cane frogs that eat cane beetles.
And where do they get the cane frogs from?
From South America.
So the frog has no business being in Australia.
They bring 11.
But it would never have taken a boat.
no business.
Packed its little frog bags and moved.
This kid opened up a whole can of worms because there's like stories about the Great Lakes and what we decided we needed in there to take care of something. So stupid humans decide, even though God figured all this crap out, getting back to God, like, okay, we're going to keep the cane frogs over here. We're going to keep the beetles over here.
I'm going to separate these two places by a huge ocean so they could never make it over there.
Right, because he knew. Yeah. But humans, we just think we know better than God.
And brought 11 of these frogs over to eat the beetles. So when they just let them go in the sugarcane fields, the frogs go, these beetles is up here. I'm going to eat all the indigenous other stuff that's easy. There's some slower stuff that's not eating suger
and the slower,
I'm going to eat.
Hold on, the slower stuff is less than a foot away from me. I don't have to climb a damn... I didn't curse out. I saved it. I don't have to climb up this stupid thing when all the good stuff is a foot away from me.
They don't eat the beetles. Ready? Failed experiment. Alrighty. Don't get the frogs. Now, the frogs are the most poisonous animal on Earth. Now, the most poisonous, it lays 30,000 eggs.
Oh, man.
That's what 30,000 eggs, but fish and things that would eat eggs can't eat it because the eggs are poisonous.
Even the eggs are poisonous.
Even the eggs are poisonous.
So basically these frogs don't have an enemy,
They don't have there's no...
There's nothing that can eat them in Australia.
South America, there's plenty of stuff that can eat them, right?
Sure.
But in Australia, here's the problem. The other creatures, they seen them all laying out, right? So about 50 years later, they realized the creatures are living a little bit longer. Because you know what trait they're handing down?
Oh.
They're not handing down the trait of kill the frog. They're handing down the trait to their next generation. Don't eat that. It's poisonous. So there's 300 million frogs and 300 million boa constrictors that go, nah, don't eat those. That's what the trait was. Not that they learned how to live through the poison.
Yeah, they learned to just not touch it.
Also, the northern part of Australia is being decimated by poisonous frogs.
That humans decided to bring into that area. It really started with 11 back in 1920.
I'm telling
Something
you,
like that.
11 of them, and they just go, they didn't do their job. And, and these frogs laid 30,000 eggs.
Poisonous eggs.
Crikey.
That no
Got
one can
a
eat.
beetle problem, mate. Got a beetle problem here. Well, mate, get some frogs. Where from? South America. South America. Frogs from South... What's going to be the long-term impact, eh? Don't know. All right, bring him over.
Yeah, that's
Fast forward.
Down now.
Holy Jesus, what's with the frogs?
And they control the population. They had this one lady called the Frog Lady.
Frog Lady.
Yeah.
She knows how to kill them. She takes 4 by the feet and hit them in the head.
Oh, great. That'll take a million years.
She told a story about how she smacked one by mistake. All their poison is in the back. So she smacked it and the poison just flew in her eye. So she's driving down the highway. The closest hospital is an hour and a half away. So she's driving down the highway. She's dying, right? So she realizes that if she puts her fist over her eye and closes it, just look through a little hole, she can still see a little bit. So she drives an hour and a half with frog poison in the eye, with a little handmade telescope hand, like to telescope it. And she's driving to the hospital with
What a dummy.
Crocodile Dundee style.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's the end of the world.